Micro, small and medium enterprises are the backbone of Indian economy. Little wonder policymakers and stakeholders are conscious of the competitiveness and growth and are interested in the concept of innovation voucher to help MSMEs achieve them. The German Development Agency GIZ and the Office of Development Commissioner under Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises organized an international policy workshop, Innovation Voucher, enabling SMEs to innovate in partnership with FISME, IFC and TFSC.
It goes without saying that the SMEs play a crucial role with their contribution to GDP, to production, to employment and export. They are the powerhouse to fuel the growth of the economy. However, the units have to constantly modernize and innovate if they are to grow and also deal with the challenges of globalization. More often than not, SMEs lack the resources and access to the right partner or institute or channels to undertake product and process innovations. To address this gap, GIZ and Office of DC MSME Ministry of MSME are jointly implementing the Indo-German Bilateral Development Cooperation Project, which is titled Innovation Promotion in MSME. So with that brief introduction, without much further ado, I think we are ready to start the proceeding of today's workshop. With those words, I would like to invite Shri Tripathi to please come and address the
If we make this system more innovative, where innovation is treated not as an expenditure but as an investment, perhaps we can achieve much more. If I take up the industrial scenario even today, if you take up large enterprises versus small and medium enterprise, SMEs suffer only in two areas vis-a-vis large enterprises. Efficiency, they are second to none. Cost cutting, they are second to none. Even managing innovative way, they are second to none. They lose with large companies on two fronts. One is R&D, and second is perhaps marketing because of economy of scale. If these two are taken into account, these two are clusterized, they two are addressed simultaneously. These two are addressed in a manner where government support is also forthcoming and willingly available. We can tackle these two problems for MSME sector. We are paid to talk, but today I will change my role and I will also like to listen to you also. Thank you very much.
I would request Mr. Anil Bharadwaj, Secretary General FISME, to deliver the welcome address. Mr. Bharadwaj hardly needs any introduction. As Secretary General of FISME since 1996, he is well versed with industrial and trade issues as well as the promotional and regulatory environment in India. Sir, I request you to please deliver the welcome address.
On behalf of the organizers, GIZ and partners, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Most MSMEs still see it something not very relevant to their immediate activities. During the course of the day and deliberations during the day, we'll come to know that this is a topic which is not distant, neither it is utopian nor it is distant, but something extremely relevant to compete and succeed in today's environment. When we are competing not on the cost, but are trying to compete on value, we are primarily discussing innovation. With these words, I welcome you once again, and I wish this particular seminar and workshop great success. Thank you very much.
With that, I would now like to request Mr. Wolfgang Leidig, Program Director at GIZ, to come and address this gathering. Mr. Wolfgang has been with GIZ as the Director of Private Sector Development, managing projects on innovation and modernization in SMEs, and has worked within the German administration as well as international cooperation.
It is the better product, it is a more efficient process, it is the better qualified staff which makes the difference. When we often talk with small and medium-sized enterprises, it's all an issue about, I don't have the time, what else should I do? I'm happy enough if I can compete on the prices, if I get enough material, if I can finance and get my discussions with the banks to a successful end. But we do not only have to look at the small and medium-sized enterprises, we also have to look at their potential partners. Small and medium-sized enterprises have not only to realize that the old phrase is also valid for small and medium-sized enterprises, which sounds, you never have to walk alone. There are partners which it is worthwhile to cooperate. It's in academia, it's in industry, it's in government. For example, in Aurangabad, we tried to get together young students in their vacation time with small and medium-sized enterprises. We ask small and medium-sized enterprises to describe a problem which could be solved in 4 to 6 weeks or which is urgent to them, and we invited students to work on that. The idea is to find a solution. That was one. The other idea is to get both sides used to work together, to see that small and medium-sized enterprises can see the value of working together with academic institutions. And also academic institutions, for them the world is publications and conference and present their ideas. It might not be so much working together with small and medium-sized enterprises, but to see also their advantages to do so. So, ending by that saying, this is what the conference is all about, and I wish you a very interesting and successful conference. Thank you very much.
We are pleased to have Mr. Antonio Finelli, a senior expert in the Global Relations Directorate of the Organization for Economic in Paris, France, and his current role is coordinating SME policy, competitiveness, and industrial policy project in Italy, and a master degree on international economics from Sussex University in the UK. Sir, if I may please invite.
I'm here representing the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. What is innovation? Well, it can be defined in several ways. In fact, the OECD has prepared a manual on how innovation is defined. Usually, it can be either considered in a very narrow way as technological innovation, or more broader as innovation that covers several areas. Can be related both to technology, but also to the process on how products are made, or services are produced, or also about the management techniques, or about the access to new markets. With a little money, usually these vouchers are not very large. In Europe, they go from the very minimum of 500 euros for the very, very simple schemes to about 15,000, 20,000, and in the most sophisticated way, they go up to 50,000 euros. But 50,000 euros are not really a lot of money. With 10,000 euros, in the best cases, you can buy about 20 days of consultancy work or work in a laboratory. So this will not help you to complete the innovation cycle, but it will be helping you to start the innovation cycle. And that is the role of the innovation voucher, to bring the company closer to realize their potential, to start to work systematically on innovation, and to put them in touch with somebody that can help them in doing this type of work. Thank you.
Following the inaugural session, which focused on concepts, the technical session saw presentations on the different types of innovation vouchers and the experiences in different countries.
Ms. Richter will talk about the importance of the innovation vouchers in the policy mix. She holds an MBA from Manchester Business School.
So it is my pleasure to introduce you to the pilot testing and of innovation vouchers in Tamil Nadu. Drivers and obstacles of innovations. So if we compare German and Indian SMEs, we see that the main incentive for the German SMEs for implementing innovation is to be technologically ahead of the market. Whereas if we talk to the MSMEs in Tamil Nadu, we see that the most important driver for innovation is the customer demand. So there is pressure from the customers, and only if they risk to lose the client, they would go into innovation. Now I would like to present you selected instruments for the promotion of innovations. So we can categorize it into those 4 categories. First, support for startups and support in the inception period of SMEs. Then we have the networking and cooperation, the advisory and qualification, and the research and development. The impact of innovation vouchers in Tamil Nadu. Actually, I will come later this afternoon on this pilot in Tamil Nadu, but here we had very positive results, and we could see that the innovation speed has increased. MSME feel that the innovation speed has increased by 6 to 24 months. And also we saw that the capacities have improved and that the innovation voucher scheme triggered know-how transfer. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the invitation to this event. I am very happy to have the opportunity, of course, to share our experiences, but much more, I'm looking forward to hear about other experiences, about opinions on possibilities and found solutions for the many, many small problems which arise during the implementation and application of such programs. Small enterprises with less than 50 employees and 10 million euro turnover make 97% of all enterprises. 31% of all employees are employed in these enterprises and make 25% of the total turnover. Today there are 8 voucher programs in Germany. Interesting is that except for the pilot states, only 2 more were introduced. And in Rhineland-Palatinate, there was already a program introduced in 2009, which was quite similar, so it can be considered a kind of pilot state. What did hardly change in the program? All of the programs, except for Baden-Württemberg, are still managed by the external organizations. Has the program proven useful? Yes, it has. Not only did a lot of the SMEs applied and received funding. In Baden-Württemberg alone, we have 4,000 since 2008, which equals 24 million euro of funding. Studies found that the projects made the SMEs more competitive. So we hope it's going to be like this in the future, maybe even with the help of this conference. Thank you.
Thing that I want to say, I'll not really talk about innovation vouchers, but I'll talk about innovation in general and some bits of the work that I've done over a period of time on understanding innovation in the country. We need to start celebrating failure. We are a set of people who will only talk about celebration of successes. In fact, in the US, whenever you're actually there, if you have failed 3 times, the possibility of funding is very, very high. Are we strengthening our education system? We are probably not doing it. In fact, are we strengthening our research? We are not doing it. So sheer numbers do help, but at the end of the day, the output is going to be imperative. The quality of output is also going to be very, very important to look at. IP, intellectual property and intellectual property safeguarding, is the most important thing for innovation in the future. This is where I'll stop. I think too much of bashing, but thanks a lot for the opportunity. But this is where it is. This is the reality. Thank you.
As far as your presentation, it was very disruptive.
During the day-long deliberations, besides the government officers, the participants included from academia, industry associations, consultants, cluster agencies, research institutes, incubators, SMEs, among others.
For this session, I would like to invite Mr. Matthias Weikart from the Austrian Research Promotion Agency.
Thank you for your invitation. I would like to bring you with me on the journey how we implemented the innovation voucher in Austria. The innovation voucher itself is valid for 1 year, so we have the time to do the project for 1 year, and after finishing the project, the research organization must have put the evaluation the final report where we can look at the project after it's finished. Well, basically we have a little bit data. The evaluation is done by external companies. We have a little bit data about, is it the first customer in our organization? How large is this enterprise? Are there any further R&D projects in our agency? How was the cooperation with the university? So we streamline from the appliance to the contract. Within 3 weeks is done with completely in our house to have the result. Voucher Plus is it's something we develop where you have a research project which is in the size of 12,500 euro, and 2,500 is paid by the company, 10,000 is paid by us to the Knowledge Institute. So this is more than the small innovation voucher. We need more marketing to reach the small and medium companies. We had 6,000, a couple of more, 6,000 applications for the innovation voucher, the small enterprise, and we have nearly 70% of newcomers. So we reached our goal. So what's the approval rate? It's nearly 80% and 70% for the Innovation Plus. So we try to have a very clear picture to the companies what is eligible.
Thank you.
The entire proceedings and documents are uploaded at www.knnindia.co.in/innovation voucher.